financially motivated. It was motivated by telling his story. And so this was a real gift to be able to let the team spirit really fly, and in this kind of an event where you really are encouraged instead of suffocated to really become part of that team and give your ideas and make a scene happen in a way that maybe even the director or writer wasn't expecting. So it's really a treasure, I think, for all of us.
You made up your own words as a double, didn't you, Pat? I mean, you didn't have to go to a script.
No.
Yeah, I was going to say, did the devil improvise at all?
You know, some of the best overacting I've ever done. And I must hand that to Darren, because I would say to him, Darren, is that a little too big? He goes, bigger, bigger! Louder, faster, bigger! And so every time I work with him, it's always bigger, and you don't get a chance to do that on television, you know, or other feature kind of things, you know.
So what's the next bigger thing after the devil when you guys do your next project?
Oh, God. God!
Yeah.
So you can tell when something about a project has something, I want to say love behind it. People really love what they're doing, and you really feel like this might be fun. Those words are just so addictive. When you can get with a bunch of folks that really love what they're doing, and they really got something cool, and they want to share it with you, and you can do what you want, bring something in it. Oh, okay, wow, it's play. And if every kid can remember what it's like to play, you'll be a big success. That's my feeling.
Pat and Christina, with your relationship, did you have the chance to, was there enough time permitting that you guys could kind of improvise and find different moments? Or did Neil let you?
Well, I don't know if there was so much improvising, except it wasn't, the relationship wasn't like spelled out. It kind of just happened, right? I mean, that's...
I think we were on set, and then it was actually a joke. Like at one point we were like taking a photo or doing something, and I was like, oh, how about we just, hold hands at the end of the movie or something, like as if, I mean, it was just a kind of, it came out of...
Yeah, it was like subtext, and then it became...
Yeah, but then it became something to play with, right?
It became the actual text.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we had figured it out before that scene, so then we could, kind of...
Right. I have the scene where I do some forensic work, and I'm showing her the basic scene, where she's walking through the police station, and I'm showing her it's like Richard Dreyfuss in Jaws, the bite radius of the pumpkin in this case. But
remember, all serious.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. But I played it as if I was really trying to impress her, and she was like kind of like, yeah, nice job, and then like barely impressed by me, but that like sent me through the roof. Like I was like, wow, she almost kind of was nice to me.
I don't think that in your script, Neil, it was written that there was like that I responded to that, right? I think it was just the way he did it was so cute that in like the way it was happening, I was like, oh, this would actually, like, that's kind of cute, maybe I could give this guy a chance.
I think that, what is kind of from a director's point of view is like, what is the point of working with such a remarkable cast that we put together? I mean, you saw the names in the trailer, and we only have like a taster here of like a lot of people in it. If you're not going to invite them to collaborate and be a part of the whole process, because it was such a huge collaboration anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
well,
and everybody brought something to the table.
It speaks to the belief that you all as directors had in the people you chose to cast. And I want to just quickly ask Grace and Boo Boo, you guys, what was it like? This is a totally different type of project, and as young actors, maybe you haven't had the chance, or maybe you had to really, be part of a community project like this. What was the experience like for you two?
There was a lot more freedom, I think, for us. It was also it was a lot of fun just being in our boots on the day, and stomping around in the middle of the night, at least thinking that we're the biggest, baddest things on the streets. And yeah, I think a lot of the wardrobe was probably a lot different. We both worked for like the Disney Channel, where not only is it a lot more sticky sleep, but you also get told, even sometimes blocking based on phone calls to China, as opposed to lunch with a friend that you worked with, and then you get to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
And just to let everyone here know, and I'm sure it's this way at Disney, although I haven't worked for them directly, it's like the line maybe, it's gonna be a great party, and you say, it is gonna be a great party, they're like, no, sorry, redo that. Yeah.
8 people approved it that way, so this is not.
Yeah, so we can't, so it's just such a different experience to be part of something like this.
And it's also, it's like when you get the chance to do it. I certainly have not yet been asked to be in a Western style anything. And you also don't very often get the note, you have more time, like even more time. It was like, seriously? And like, do you want another take? You're like, seriously? And it's
Yeah.
like, I thought we were doing this, this is so, say it even slower. That was pretty much the note I kept getting. I think you can attest to that.
That's awesome. Well, we have about 8 minutes left, so I'd like to take audience questions if you guys have any. Yes.
First of all, Alex, I love Starry Eyes.
Oh,
I just want to
thank
say
you.
you're fantastic. Starry Eyes is a film that distribution model, it was on Netflix and streaming, and I wanted to ask the filmmakers, given that the distribution model is really changing, and particularly with horror, it seems like from a fan's perspective that we have a lot more opportunity in terms of content creation going on streaming. I'm curious how that's changed your dealing with projects and if that's affected you. And I also wanted to ask John and Barry, who I'm a huge fan of, both of you, how that, from your perspective in Hollywood, how that distribution model how you see that being different now from when you guys were starting out, and if it's affected your roles or changed at all.
I can still work because there's more young people working today. That's my theory. The more young people follow their heart, just get involved, do stuff, the more I'll be able to find somebody to work with. That's my theory.
Yeah.
I don't get paid.
Lynn and I did a movie about 2 years ago called FDR, American Badass. Thank you very much, yes. And the reason I bring this up is because Ross Patterson, who wrote it, said, well, all of my movies never make any money. And I said, why? And he said, because they're always illegally downloaded. And we found out that FDR was illegally downloaded by every stoner in the world about 1.5 million times. And so he has to find a different reason to make these movies and another way to create some kind of an income. And I don't think he's solved it yet, and I'd be curious to ask the filmmakers on this panel how they plan on doing this. How are you going to pay your bills? I mean, how do you make money on these kinds of movies?
We rob banks in between. Because it's easy when you have a film set and you can block the street and you have
Roll in on it.
yeah, the new thing.
Or you just call Mike Mendez and you call it The Last Heist and.
Well, he works for free, so that's fine. But the other people, we had to pay at least something. So.
But this is actually a really interesting question. So Patrick and Shaked, the way we consume media has changed a lot with the advent of the internet and also digital cameras and things like that, and just the accessibility. So how does a small studio like yourselves adapt to that?
Well, I think you need to be very conscious of what the movie is and where it's going to go, and you really need to think the model of just finding money, making a movie, and then hope it's going to be in a festival, and hope somebody's going to pay you millions of dollars. That's kind of thing of the past, or it's something that happened to 1% of the films. You kind of need to have a plan for advance, and we really try when we're getting into the films to know what is our strategy around when you're going to release this. Like originally we were planning to release it in Christmas, and then people here said it should be in Halloween, so we changed it. But we really need that kind of strategy of when we're launching it, when we're going to. And I think it's very interesting that people say it. I remember, and a few people on this panel actually been with us on the panel 2 years ago or 3 years ago for Biggest Spider, and we were on the panel. We actually said if you can't afford it, if you can't have access to it, email us. We have email address on our website. We have YouTube. Email us. We rather figure out a way to take care of you than you go on some illegal website, because not only these fine people on this table and our DP and everybody not getting paid, we also support the piracy. So I rather keep movies than have somebody else make money that just encourage illegal activities. We still had to think like 1 million point something illegal download on Biggest Spider. So, I guess my message didn't go out that far. Mike also put on YouTube that he's going to kill anybody who got download illegally. And he's still working on it. He didn't give up. He has a list. He's been busy shooting this one. So
That's your next film, Mike. Going around and, yeah.
But just to answer your question, I think I think everybody knows. I mean, I'm not going to stand up here and say, about piracy. It's out there. Everybody does it, or everybody knows somebody who does it. It exists. So the only way to combat it is to either get it out before it's pirated everywhere, because now it's no longer even BitTorrents. It's just streaming websites, and you just type it in, and there it is. So the process is becoming easier. So you have to get your movie out as fast as possible. So when it goes out that day, and you try to reach as many people as possible, and then shortly thereafter it goes to Netflix, and that's the shelf life of independent cinema. Unfortunately, is just it's everything's collapsed into literally one day now. So you have to get out there first, and that's the only solution right now.
And hopefully the fans can, I think the fans are understanding it more and supporting more. You see platforms like Indiegogo, and you see the fans coming out and saying, we want to support the filmmakers. So I think there is this natural kind of way that things are fixing themselves, but yeah, it's not easy.
And it's just simple mathematics, really. It's like the more you pirate movies, the less movies you're going to get made.
Also,
you're going to kill off the independent sector. So,
Yeah.
I think another big thing that people don't, I'm sorry, that people lose their vote when they download the movies illegally, because it's not that movies are more successful, then people make more of those. The piracy kind of take away the choice from the consumer. Because if you like something, you buy it. You can get more of it, it can get better.
We could have a whole segment, a whole panel on anti-piracy. So let's take a few more questions. Yes.
This is for Patrick Saked or any of the filmmakers. Like VHS has the tie-in with a through line with the tapes, and Michael Dougherty's Trick or Treat has Sam the Sack Boy. What is tying Tales of Halloween together to each of the different stories? Is there some sort of thing that makes it flow?
Yeah, there's two things. Well, first of all, I just want to say we did the international distribution on VHS, the first one and the third one. As well.
There's two things. It's all in the same town on the same nights. All the stories are happening concurrently, and then we use Miss Adrienne Barbeau to be a radio DJ for perhaps another film. And she's kind of interwoven throughout the film as kind of our Rod Serling type voice. So.
Awesome. Yes. Any other questions? Am I missing anyone? Well, thank you guys so much. Did anyone? Yes.
October 16th.
October 16th. Everyone, please.